I'm Lisa, the artist behind Lachri Fine Art. It is Tuesday, so I'm here to critique one of your original paintings or drawings. If you have an original painting or drawing that you would like to submit for critique, head to my website at lachri.com/critiques. That link is below in the video description, and you can submit your work there. Today's critique comes from a fellow YouTube artist, Sheldine. There'll be a link to her channel below in the video description. The funny thing is, this submission was sent like 2 years ago, and the amount, as good as she was here, she has improved so much more even so definitely check out her channel. She's got some amazing videos. I've also got a link to her Facebook page if you'd like to follow her over there. Now, I've talked about Sheldine before because she is the one who actually tagged me in the TMI video that I posted a while back. So all those useless bits of information you didn't really need to know about me, we can all blame Sheldine for that. This horse has been completed in colored pencil, and wow, just it's beautiful. You've done such a good job of capturing the texture of the fur in the face without it looking too wiry, too fluffy. Really nice work here. You've got beautiful contrast. I like how you blurred out his back so that your focus really is on the muzzle here, on the face. You really have done an amazing job on this. So it's kind of funny because I am familiar with your work. It's a little funny for me to be giving you a critique on this because I know that the adjustments I'm going to talk about here you have already made for future work. We'll go ahead and talk about it anyway so that it can help other artists. First, the fact that you've got this much detail on your face, like I was saying before, beautiful, beautiful work, and you faded it out, you faded the background, you faded the horse's body. I would tone down the body a bit more though. You've got the highlights along his back, which make him look shiny, but there's actually a little bit more contrast there than I would suggest, which is not something you hear me say every week. But what's happening is that much contrast going down his back, it's kind of drawing attention away from his face. It pulls you off because there is so much contrast right there. So it's not always just about softening your edges and blurring your edges. Sometimes it's about lessening the amount of contrast that you have when you're trying to create this blurry background, which it goes back into the background itself. Some of the details there, some of the trees are a little bit harsh. There's a little bit too much contrast there. If you soften that contrast, so you don't have as much of the dark up against the light like you do, that'll soften that out even more, which pulls the attention back to the horse's face that much more. Next, there's an area on the back of his neck that is a little too fluffy. I see what you're looking at on your reference photo where it is a little bit rougher there, but you've hyped that up even more, which makes it look a little weird on that area of the horse. I would just smooth out the fur, or I'm not sure if it's supposed to be fur or mane at that point, but it's so harsh, it's hard to tell. So I would just smooth that out. Next, looking at the colors that you've used. Now, contrast matters more than most things. I say this all the time. It's about your values. Don't worry so much about the colors. But sometimes color can make a big difference in taking an animal from looking really shiny to just looking gray and dusty. So even though the shine is in the exact right place, it looks beautiful. If you pull a little bit of blue from like the sky reflecting on his face, that will make his coat look shinier instead of having a dull or grayed look. And when you're doing pet portraits, this is a big deal. If you're trying to pull the shine out and you use white for that shine, it tends to make them look aged. It gives you that gray look. So if you can use another color, and blue is a color I use a lot to get that shine, that will give you a bit more of the shine versus the gray. Hope that makes sense. For the color saturation, you've used a lot of these deeper reds on his cheek and down his neck, which are beautiful, but you missed out on a lot of that on his face. I would pull more of that red into his face. It's there on the reference photo, and I see where you've hyped up the contrast, which is good. I would still increase the color saturation a bit more down his face so it continues from his neck to his face. You can leave the face lighter as you've got it. I would just get a little bit more color in there so it's not so gray. My last tip on this one is for the crop of the photo. The tip of his nose is so close to the edge of the paper. If you just create a bit more space between the end of his nose and the edge of the paper, that will help keep the viewer up within the piece and not be drawn off. This is beautiful, beautiful work. So impressed by this and all your work, really. Remember, you guys can head over to Sheldine's channel and check out her work there. She's got a lot of really great videos. Thanks for watching. If you're new to my channel, I have new video critiques every Tuesday where I'm critiquing your original paintings or drawings, my own speed paintings, drawings, and tutorials every Wednesday, art Q&A videos every Thursday, and artist vlogs each weekend. So if you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+. All of those social media sites are linked below in the video description where you can keep up with news, my newest work, and see real-time clips of whatever it is I'm currently working on. I'll see you guys tomorrow.